Well, unfortunately, I'm not going to have any AP Euro students to give my crossword puzzle to since it's the end of June and there's been no school for 3.5 weeks, and we are in the middle of Tropical Storm Debbie, which would preclude me from going out and finding any AP Euro students even if I had the desire to. So I'm going to have to rely upon the next best thing. I do have a college-educated wife. I assume she had to take some sort of history course in order to graduate with her bachelor's, even if she did go to a public university. And I do have my Harvard-educated, thoroughbred dog, Duke. I hope you enjoy the responses.
Papa, don't you fret and don't forget that one day you was in my shoes. Somehow you paid your dues. Now you're the picture of the man that I someday wanna be. I know it's hard watching the changes in our lives, but I wanna make your daughter my wife. Mama, don't you worry about your daughter, 'cause you're leaving her in real good hands. I'm a real good man. Now the picture of this love is slowly coming into view. Papa, don't you fret and don't forget that one day you was in my shoes. Somehow you paid your dues. Now you're the picture of the man that I someday wanna be.
So what did you think about this crossword puzzle?
I thought it was a good way for students to apply their knowledge of vocabulary.
Cool. Did you think the directions were clear enough?
Yes. They were very clear.
Did it work the way that you envisioned that a crossword done over the internet would work?
Yes.
Was the content accurate and appropriate based on your knowledge of early history?
Yes.
Cool, cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, that was a little bit easier for her than I thought it was going to be. Perhaps when I give this to my AP students, they will not be allowed to use their book, seeing as how they will have just completed world history for the first time and should have this information locked in tight since they had to pass that class in order to get into AP Euro. But my wife is one smart cookie, so it could have just been because she is absolutely as brilliant as she is gorgeous. Now, let's head on over to my Harvard-educated dog, who should blow us away with his crossword ability and his cunning intellect. Mr. Duke, if you wouldn't mind, please beginning the crossword puzzle. That would be awesome. Done already, you say? You dog, you. So, Mr. Duke, how did you find this puzzle? It was that good, huh? Awesome. Did you think the directions were clear enough? Good to know. I'll take that into account next time I make another puzzle. Now, when you sat down to take a crossword puzzle online, is this what you expected? Yes, awesome. Good to know. Now, in your Harvard-educated experience, would you say that that content was accurate and appropriate for the age level at which it was designed? Yes. Awesome. It's great to know that I can compete with Harvard-produced crossword puzzles. Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful day. Well, from what we've seen here, I believe that the crossword puzzle was actually much easier than I gave myself credit for having made it. Apparently just taking vocabulary words out of the book that seem important because they're in bold, and putting some higher order thinking questions to try to get students to guess them is not going to be enough to make a decent crossword puzzle. However, since I did just intend this to be a bell ringer or do now or whatever term you want to call it for my AP students at the beginning of the year, to just sort of refresh them on that little packet of information leading up to the high Middle Ages, it might actually do pretty decently. I shall revise before I send it to my students, but I think in terms of this assignment, it was a success. So I hope that everybody has a wonderful afternoon and tries to stay dry despite Tropical Storm Debbie. Bye.
Now the picture in this love